All right, I've got a pin chest, so I'm going to play my pin chest and see how many I can get done in an hour. And see how many I can win. So I'm going to let's clear some space. See if we can get somebody to replay us. I got something, probably a ball. I have my tsunami. What does it get at level 4? Gets a little bit of accuracy, gets a little bit of curl, and a little bit of ball guide. It's a long iron. Still not in the running. Now it's on the long walk to level 5. All right, let's roll. Let's make sure I got my bag set up right. Number 1 bag, 2, 3, number 4. I want to go back. I played one. I accidentally played a level 8 earlier, and I have to go in there and it'll take 2 off to forfeit 2 in order to lose the trophies so that I don't. I've done that a couple times where I've accidentally made a mistake and went into tour 8 and won, and then had to turn around and go forfeit 2 in order to give those trophies back up. T7 and below. I got played like 4 or 5 games at level 8. What hole are we on here? See if my opponent can make it over there if they end up in the rough. I tried the layup here. Since we're from the Pro Tees, it's a little bit, depending on how the wind's blowing, and see what that looks like out there. It might be one of those max short irons, and that's definitely a shot that I want to practice. Because I would much rather, or not short iron, but wedge. And I definitely feel better in my minimum short iron than I do in my maximum wedge range. I need practice. And I overshot it last time. So, put a little more backspin on it. Let's try that with a quasar. I'm just going to lay it up. 3-7. There's 3, 4, 7. Hit about 700 rings great to the right. All I'm trying to do is lay it up, and I ended up in the rough last time. Let's see if I end up in the rough again. Sitting here eating some popcorn, so if it's crunchy, sorry. See if my opponent can get in with the Malibu. If they hit it perfect, they should go in. If they made a great wind adjustment. In the hole. So my wedge hits 1.3 per ring. And I am in my maximum wedge range. I got a little teeny bit of headwind, so I need to pull back just a little from the red line. .1. It's 1.3 per ring, so there's 2.6. So we'll do a little less than 2 rings, right back to the red line. Oh, and it jogged. Oh. Perfect, that's in the hole. That's the practice right there, though. Gain confidence in it. Got some perfects on that, and you gain confidence in that club. You know your wind adjustments are good. See if they'll replay. Come on, dude. You beat me. There we go. Look at that. Made me wait. Had to go a high five with his buddy. All right, let's see if we can do this from these tees and get up there with a quasar. Just trying to hit it up there to 3.7. It's 1.7 per ring, so there's 3.4. So we're a little over that. I'm going to come at it with a Guardian and see what kind of distance I get up here in the front. Hitting it perfect. Better plug my device in. In and up down the fairway, nice and easy. Now, if you're doing the bump over shot, the landing on the pad and bouncing over, a sniper is definitely the club to have. But I got a Guardian in this bag, so I'm going to see how far forward I can get. I should be in a very similar spot to where we can be in rookie as far as the approach coming in. We can probably get a little bit closer in rookie just because we can hit out there, but I'm probably in the area. See if my opponent can get themselves in the fairway, and they can. Very nicely. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. Got a serious Albie look on this hole, though. So you'd have to get way up there in order to get down there. So you don't need to bring a bigger ball out, so you got more roll. So I'll definitely have to dial it up to the cup. It runs out a little fast because you're coming down that hill. Go right at it, 8.3. It's 1.2 per ring, so full set 6. So there's 6. There's 7, 8, 4. I'm going to do 7 rings. Trying to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Getting a hole. Just a bit outside. As Bob Uecker would say. Watch Major League. How can they lay off on pitches like that? Just a bit outside. See if my opponent can do a better job with the Guardian than I did. I was way off. And it's because of that pure side wind. That side wind's getting high enough that you're going to have to start to allow for drift. My opponent was just as far off on the other side, so we've got that wagon circled, but not very close. This is a long putt for me. I don't like making long putts. Because you can miss long putts. I got some jog right there. I'm getting it right when I'm releasing. Like everything's going good. Like the needle is jogging a little bit, but like right when I release, I'm getting a lag. Because a lot of times people will say something like, hey, you know, they'll clap their hands because they've already seen their shot. And so there's like a delay. That's why sometimes you'll see their shot clock get down to 0 and then they'll release like a second after 0 because there's a delay between us and them. I don't like getting offered the special. Let's go back and get that started. I haven't won anything yet. I didn't even get to do my putts. How is that possible? I guess it's going to take more than 8 games in order to get my pin chest done. And we're back on this hole. So I know if I want to get up there farther, and my opponent brought a power 5 or a power, yeah, it's a power 3-5 wind ball. So that means I can bring out a Titan, the king of balls. That's why they only have a 2-9 headwind. And we'll bring out the big gun. We'll bring out a Titan. And we'll see how far we can get up there so that we can take a look at it with our sniper. Taking a Titan, the king of balls. We're going to switch to our number 1 bag. The opponent wants to bring out that ball, then we'll see what it can handle with a Titan. It's 5-3. There's 5-3. 2.5 rings. 2.1 per ring. Hitting it perfect. Just trying to lay myself up out there so I can get in with my sniper. From the rookie tees, I'm going to use a 100% accurate club. I'm going to use my rock or my QB. Figure out the distance for my sniper because I like this hole. This hole's got you have serious Albie shots on this. And my opponent's got a great ball there with the low wind ball. It's a waste. Should be practicing with Titans and use those balls right there because you're coming in with a ball that has pretty close to the same characteristics. And you're saving those low wind balls for the actual tournament, opening round, weekend round. Qualify with it on the tournament with the, you can qualify in the tournament with the Titan. Get used to doing the shot with higher wind, and that way when you cut the wind down, it'll make that shot easier. And you can get all the way up to the front of this pad. You don't have to be 2 rings off, but it doesn't hurt. I'm going to terminate right at that cup. Four one. I'm going to start off now. I'm just going to do a regular adjustment. 4-1. Oh, great to the right again. That was better. Still got my distance wrong. I think the deal is I need to come in a little closer. I think the deal is that if you come in, if I'm 1 ring off of that transitional surface instead of 2, that by moving it closer like that, that backspin engages it at a better spot and your ball guide's more accurate. Because the ball guide right there is coming down this really steep hill. And so depending on where you hit on that hill, it depends on how fast the ball stopped to the hole. And I'm trying to come out more on the flat down here where I can see my run out. And I need to actually get up there and treat that like a rough bump where you're really kind of putting some backspin, but you're really close to it. So it bleeds out as it hits that hill, it jumps forward. Let's see if I can miss my putt again. Let's hope that's just a once in a night deal. I hit it perfect this time, so it should go in. I hit it so bad last time, I don't even think it registered great. It just went out there. It's a draw. All right. We got 1 point on our pin chest. It took us 2 games to get 1 point on our pin chest. That's an epic fail. Now we're trying to win a chest. Now we got to fill those slots. Come on, dude. And I think this is a replay with this guy, so I'm one down. I need to entice them to have a third match and win this one, and we can have a rubber match. I'm going to have a much higher win than that. They got a 55% minus and win because of that 5 win ball. I've got a 2 win ball. So my win's going to be considerably higher. Rough bump is really tricky with a headwind, so I'm going to have to do the bounce over. And I can definitely beat that. I brought an ally. My ally is the sniper. I'm right at max club. Maybe about 3 rings off that transitional surface. I'm going to put on about 1 backspin. Sniper. Max club. 3.1 rings. And I think we were doing a little bit of an adjustment. So I'm going to do like 3.5. That's like a 10% adjustment. Hitting it perfect. A little too much backspin. Maybe just a sliver. But I didn't have to get that close. All right, let's see if they'll rematch us again. They don't have anything to do with that. I got my money back. We'll leave 2 slots open. All right, here we go. Let's see if we get one of these, another one of the tournament holes. We'll go out there and we'll just play them. We'll try and play them the consistent way. The whole deal is it's important to learn how to play the game of one-on-one, where you're getting the minimum score on every hole. Because when you get on one of these holes in the tournament, the minimum score is never in question. What's in question is whether you can pick shots up on those holes. 3 miles per hour. About a ring and a half. Hitting it perfect. Trying to go right down the middle. Right down the middle. We're going to burn some Titans here. We're playing T7, and we got a lot of people that are down here practicing these holes. Because we have the Oasis holes and we have the Kohan Park holes in here. So we got a bunch of sharks down here that are bringing out special balls and stuff. They want to bring out those home run balls and those special balls. Those have a place in a tournament, but right now you're playing against the king of balls, buddies. Bring it on. Let's see which way the wind's blowing, because this is a great, oh my gosh, we got these big ass headwinds. Is that a head side wind? There's a good rough bump from here, but you got to get the wind thing just right. Where am I at my club? I'm right at maximum club. I'm getting some lag. Big time. There's 5, 6, 7.5. Right back to the red line. If I have time to get the shot off, I'm getting so much lag it won't. I was dragging it and it wouldn't let me do it. I was getting so much lag. That's because every single person is at home right now because of the coronavirus, and everybody's on the internet. Everybody. I'm eating popcorn still. Got to get some nutrients in me. This golf is hard work. All right, let's just sink this shot. Man, if I lose this one, if I lose this deal on that timeout, I've lost 2 in a row on timeouts. That's not good. 3 miles per hour. Wind's better. Did I hit that perfect? Dead center perfect. In the hole. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Timed out and still caught up. On a replay. I got me on the first one. Is this the replay guy? No, I don't think he wanted anything to do with another replay, so this is somebody new. He brought the same ball, though. Good game. Forcing a shootout. Maybe it shouldn't be fairway to green. Maybe it should be fairway, don't time out. Fairway to green. I'm coming at this hole in a new way. And so I'm trying to figure out where the spot is. I'm going to be, and I've got to tighten, so I'm going to be with my white ring off, because I will have to adjust that with a different, I needed a little more, a little less backspin, I think. I'm going to try and run it up to the cup. It's off a little to the left, but that's okay. 5, 6, 7. I'm really worried about distance right here. Hitting it perfect. And like that distance, I need to put, regardless of what the ball guy's telling me, I need to put about a quarter to a half more backspin on there so that it'll stop at the cup. Because if it would have stopped at the shortest distance that just traveled past the cup, I would be a lot closer than where I'm at right now. I don't mind really that much when I'm playing in one-on-one if I missed the hole to the left or the right, as long as I missed it at the minimum spot that I was in the travel. And so that's going to take at least a full bar and a half of backspin. But that hole right there eats a lot of people's lunch. So if you can figure out a consistent way to get to it. And I like the right-hand side better in rookie. And I like the right-hand side better in pro too. It's hard to find a spot on the left-hand side where you can consistently put your ball. And that sand trap is dangerous as hell. So instead of trying to go around it, I'm going over it. Let's open up that silver chest. Keep 2 open. All right, we're on a roll now. We got 2 in a row. And gained some confidence in my my long shot coming in. I put myself in the spot to make that rough bump so I could go for that eagle or go for the Albie, and still ended up making it to save my eagle. I'm playing with the Titan. Okay, come on. Do I have to pick it again? How many times are you guys going to do this? Okay, this is more what we'd be coming to this hole with. is this bag right here. Let's see what kind of shot we get from here. I'm about 3 rings off. I want to give myself plenty of room. It's 2-6. There's got to be an adjustment on that, so it's probably around 3 rings. Because it's way downhill. I couldn't even hardly get to my ring set. So I did like a 10% adjustment there. It looks pretty close to where I aimed it. .365. I'm not sure if you look back on the video, rewind it back to where I hit that with the extra mile with the Titan to see what kind of distance I got with the extra mile. See if my opponent can get down in this hole. And they ended up in the rough. They're going to have a rough time getting up. They just opened the door for a loss right there. They're going to have to do what I did on the last hole. They're going to have to lay it up there and then make the shot. I'm going to get one. Let me get closer. I want to get that backspin to roll out. They recognize they lost. I would not have done that. I would encourage you guys never in one-on-one to ever forfeit, no matter how far behind you are, because the whole deal is that you're trying to practice those shots going into the cup. That's the money shot. And if you end up in a spot of bother, you'll never get good at those shots unless you take them. So you paid to get there. You might as well take the shot. And sometimes you can surprise your opponent and make it and perfect your skills. But if they want to forfeit to me, I'll go ahead and take it. That was one more on my pin chest and a chest. So they just conceded the 100. I ain't conceding anything. And tournaments, it's a different story because I'm trying not to get hole-in-ones and shootouts. Because I'm only playing the holes that we're playing in that tournament, and I'm not interested in doing that. It got really expensive when you play upper levels. I'm trying to see if I can get over here with my rock. There's 5 rings off. So fully in overpower, I'm 5 rings off right there. I'm going to go 4 rings off. I'm going to take the wind out. There's 5, 6, 4. And then I'm going to do a max curl shot with no overpower. Hit it perfect. And I needed to go out a little bit farther. So I went 4 rings, and I needed to go out probably 5 or 6 rings in order to do the spin. It got me over to that side, though. It might have put me into my short iron range or long iron range. I don't really like the shot from the other side, having to go over that sand. There's an adjustment that needs to be made over here. I'm not sure if it's an elevation adjustment or if it's an adjustment because you're bouncing from sand to a spot to over sand. It always seems like the ball gets affected more when it's coming in over sand. It's okay, but when it makes the first bounce, if the second bounce is over sand, it seems like there's always an adjustment that you have to allow for a ball that's traveling over sand. And I haven't had a lot of luck from the shot over there, so I've taken that shot a bunch of times. It is, but I've also epic failed on the shot coming in if the wind is blowing the wrong way. There's an adjustment that needs to be made. Let's see if there's an elevation change here. I mean, they look like they're level, but there is an adjustment because of how you're coming in. And that's definitely long iron from there. I'm in long iron from here. Where am I at my club? I have to get a lot deeper. I have to get way out in here in order to get in a short iron range. right at it. 7, 8. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. And that puts me a little in the power. And I hit it 700 rings great to the right. Just lay it up there and let's see if we can force a shootout. Let's see if they can make it. They're going to have the wind as tailwind, so it'll be an easier win for them to work out. I should have left myself more room up there. That was a crappy shot set up on my part. I wasn't even actually going for it. I really was just kind of laying it up and hoping we can force a shootout. I haven't decided how I'm going to play this hole. There is a max overpower hook shot you can do on this hole, and I'm sure that you can do it. A club that I have in my bag now that I didn't have in my bag when this hole came out was the Rock. And the Rock has almost 100% back or curl. And so it has more curl than any other driver until you get your Apocalypse to like level 5. And I think the Apocalypse has 96. I think they're even. I think when you get your Rock maxed out, though, you get it to level 9, you pick up, and it becomes 100% curl. And there's shots that you can do with 100% curl club that you can't get done with an extra mile max overpower hook shot. You can walk around serious corners with 100% curl club. That's why getting it to level 8 was such a big deal, because it got the huge jump. It went from like 76 to like 96 curl. And that opened up a whole new door. It separated itself from the QB just with curl. All right, my opponent took his turn. I've had my turn. It's a draw. We're going to shootout. All right, we're back on this one. Let's see which kind of win we get. Oh, that wind's not bad. Where's my red line? I got to do headwind. Can't do it against headwind. I don't have any area to move my ball out. That was a little far away last time, so I'm going to get right up on it. I'm going to trust my ball guide. At max club, 1 per ring, right at 2 rings. Probably should have did a wind adjustment of probably 20%, 10%. So I hit it great to the right, not on purpose, but that actually is the side that I needed to add wind on. And I hit it great to the right. So maybe it is maybe there isn't a wind adjustment. It seemed like there was something. See if my opponent can get there. I think I stopped pretty close. My speed was pretty good. I stopped pretty close to the shortest spot that I passed the hole. I don't like pinching up there, and you can see like this fairway looks like it's flat just like the other one on that big par 5, but there is a little bit of drop going down to the sand, and so there is a little bit of curvature there, and if you hit it on that curvature just wrong, you can get a result that you weren't anticipating. And so I always like to be on those types. It doesn't matter. You can see from that angle, you can go back and rewind from that angle and see the deal. They just beat me. Excellent. They stopped at a closer spot. Good game. Fantastic. Nice putt there, buddy. Or nice shot. Let's see if they'll replay. Come on, Donnie. Come on, Cowboy State. T7. How long have we been videoing? 34 minutes. We got 24 minutes to go. So 2 or 3 more holes. Hole 7, par 4, Sunshine Glades. The big duck hole. Can I get over that with a rock? Hell no. Hell no. I got a chance here. Let's get the wind somewhat in the right direction. Instead of being 7,000 miles per off, it's about 8.6. And I missed it. So I hit the rough and I'll end up in the sand. It was worth a shot. The way to hit that shot is to come out here and then go out that way, but it's a super hard chip from out there because that green's covered in moguls. There are several greens in the game, and there's another green in this particular Sunshine Glades. One of the holes, it's a par 4 that you can get up there in one. And some people will lay up on the other side and have a very short chip with either a rapier or a minimum, their wedge or their minimum short iron. And a lot of people take that route, but the deal is it's so hard because of the terrain on the green that it's better to just go for it. Because you still got a shot at it even if you go for it. Like I got a serious shot at it from the sand here if I can get around that corner. It's not the preferred club, but I do have a shot at it. And I do have a shot. I am around the tree. Okay, where am I at in my club? Pretty close to max. And a little teeny bit of backspin on a freaking Spitfire is a lot of backspin. So it's 8, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, and I hit it 200 ring straight to the left. Now let's see if they can make it from over there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like all of these little depressions that are in the deal here. If you don't get your bounces right, your second bounce is going to end up on one of those moguls, and it'll throw it off trajectory. So you need to get in between the moguls and do what they're doing, where you're using backspin. They brought the right club for that. They have a thorn, and a thorn can get them the backspin they need. A hornet here is very difficult unless you've got an upper developed hornet. You've got some backspin. It can be a difficult hole for a hornet because the hornet engages those moguls more. But with the backspin they had on there, they could get their bounces where they were kind of bouncing over the moguls. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. They were on track. You just got it wrong. Okay, great. And it's in the hole. Birdie, birdie. Going to a shootout. Let's see if I can do better than the last one. But at least I got one on my pin chest. Got to get to my 66%. We have all the sharks down here playing. We have everybody playing down. Everybody can play down here. Anybody who's playing expert or pro can play T7 because all the holes are in here. So there's like a conflagration of everybody. If the rookies want to play it and you've got an upper developed rookie account, you got to play it in pro. So you're playing against pros, experts. Everybody's playing Tour 7. And this hole right here is the hole I'm working on. And I'm going to try, one of my teammates suggested, and one of my viewers, and I can't remember who it was, and I apologize, but one of my viewers, my regular viewers, suggested that I try the rough bump on this. And I don't normally think of rough bumps. They're like an afterthought in the deal, but you're absolutely right. There's a perfectly good spot right there to do a rough bump. And it's the angle that I like to hit rough bumps at, where if I hit it great to the left or the right, I still end up on the green by the cup. I'm not having to hit it at an angle. I don't like to hit those rough bumps where you're hitting on the diagonal, where if you hit it great to the right, you're in the fairway, and you hit it great to the left and you get stuck in the rough. And they forfeited. And I didn't get to take it. And that was the wrong club. I may have to take that if I want to do the rough bump from what it looked like right there with a 3-power ball. And the 3-power balls, if I think about how that works, the 3-power ball, so the Titan hits out here, and if I in my red line I switched over into my driver if I wanted to be in that rough. So if I went with a smaller ball, it's going to push it back, and I'm still going to be in my driver. So if I want to do the rough bump there, I'm going to have to look at like what driver to bring. It'd have to be a driver that had enough topspin to get me back to the cup, because that's a long ways away. So what are my options? So if I played that in the tournament, and I'm going to play that hole, and I've never played the rough bump there, and I'm going to try that hole. I'm going to try different shots on that hole until I find a shot that I like, because what I've been doing hasn't been working. I always get birdies, but there's no chance for me to get a hole in one. So I'm going to try and figure out some other way to come at it, and the rough bump might be the way. Not enough topspin. And you can take it with the extra mile, but the ball guide, you really want to have as good a ball guide as you can. So you could do it with a big topper. Got a little bit of ball guide. You could try it with the QB and see if the QB works, because it's got 55. The rock might be able to get it done, and it has more rod distance, so it might get there easier. So I have some options on what I can do. 56 with the Thor's hammer, 3 ball guide. But my quarterback would be good because it's got 4.5 ball guide. And when you're doing those rough bumps, whenever you're doing a rough bump, the more ball guide you have, the truer your ball guide is. So if you got a low club that doesn't have good ball guide, and you run your ball guide all the way to the hole, in many cases, you're going to shoot past it. Even if you hit it, you'll hit it too fast, because you don't have 4 ball guide. You only got 3.2. Whereas if you have 4 ball guide, you can lead it 4.5 ball guide. You can lead it right up to the cup. So it might be better to take that with a QB, so that I can put the topspin on there that I need, if that's enough topspin to get me there. And then I have to pick which ball. So right there where I was at right at the transition. So it probably wouldn't be a 3-power ball. It'd probably be like a 2-power ball or a 1-power ball. I could bring a nav to start off with, just try and cut the wind down and see where I was at. All right. I learned something about that hole, even though I didn't get to play it. Got to take away a positive thing from every hole you're on out there, especially the holes that you're trying to work. So then in the back of your brain, the next time you get there, or when we get to Monday's practice day, you can make some notes. You can add that on your notebook on like what you're going to try out on that hole. So some of the holes we already know, we already have a game plan on what we're going to do, and we just want to go out there and make sure that that game plan works. So we already knew on that hole we were going to take an extra mile or an apocalypse or a QB or a rock or whatever it happened to be. This hole right here is in the tournament, and it's hitting over to the other side. I'm going to demo this side right here, just because I'm not sure if I've got this. I'm sure that I've recorded it, but I'm going to demo the shot to the left and show that shot. But the shot to the right is the shot that we're going to take in the tournament, because it's the only way to get an Albie on this hole. Let's see if my opponent does really good. That way we can just critique theirs. But my opponent picked that side, and they got a Quasar. So I'll take a Quasar, and we'll see which side's better. I'm going to bring my number 3 bag, and it is in my bag just for this hole. And we got a 7-9 wind. I want to put all of that topspin on. All of that topspin. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's It's pushing me back to that spot right there. So I want to make sure that I'm going back to that spot. And just hit it over to the other side with your cube, with your big topper. And you can hit that shot like good to the left or good to the right, and it'll still end up in the middle of the fairway. So if my opponent wants to play over there, then the big topper is, in my opinion, this hole right here is a big topper, big dog hole, and it's almost a guaranteed eagle. Like, I'm going to be really disappointed if I don't get eagle here. I mean, I get eagle on this hole like all the time, and they've got the right second club. So let's see if they play it right. See if they can get on in two. And they're in the rough. Okay, and I don't care about those trees whatsoever. Those trees are not impeding my path. I'm going over to this side right here, and I want to be at least a good 3 rings off because I'm doing a max curl shot. And so it's all about the distance on the tip down there. I want to put max, just a little teeny bit of backspin. And actually, I probably put too much on it. 1.7. It's like 2.0 per ring. I'm going to move a ring. And then a max curl shot, no overpower. And then just walk it around the corner. And give myself a chip to get in. So I put too much backspin on there. I probably should have put just like a sliver of backspin, or maybe even just a sliver, maybe half a topspin to get me all the way to the cup. But I don't mind being short here because this is one of those holes that you can get around, and that's a great shot to practice from that distance. So you gain faith in that deal. And I like the Amazon, but the Amazon has its place. It has no ball guide when it's lower level like that. It never really develops a shit ton of ball guide, but it has no ball guide down there. This may be a case where I've seen people where they have clubs that are like that and they're not upgrading them, or they just have it in level 1. Let's check my opponent out. There are 7,188 games. So they should have it higher than level 1. Let's dial it up to the cup. Okay, from this distance, wind is going to be a factor. There's 4. There's 8. There's 10. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. I had room maybe on the left, but not on the right. I didn't move it enough, so I had room on the right and a perfect. And a great to the left would have been out of the realm of possibilities. I had 2 out of 3 aren't bad. And got the win. That's what I'm talking about. Good game. Let's see if they'll rematch. No dice. That's that other side over there. That's what I'm talking about on the other side. When I say that you have no shot at getting an Albie on the other side, you got no shot at getting an Albie on the other side. All right, that was 6 out of 8 on a pin chest in a video. So that's where we're at. Sorry I didn't get them all in. I jacked it up on those first 2 holes. But I have been raising my value up. I think yesterday when I started playing the T7, I had right at about 56,200,000. So I won. I'm up 500K. Try and get it to 57. We'll see what the deal is. Maybe we'll try and get it. Maybe if we play a little bit this weekend and Friday, we'll try and get it to 60 million. See how many of these sharks I can take advantage of. All right. That was some T7. Thanks for watching.